Hello, folks, and welcome back for more Kingdom Death Simulator. Before we kick off, have some housekeeping to attend to. First of all, apologies for missing out on last week's stream. A couple reasons for that. First of all, I was just kind of out of it last week. Needed a little bit of extra rest, but also Friday was the Summer Games Fest presentation, and I want to just relax and spend some time with my wife watching that and enjoying that. I completely forgot it was coming up, or I would have mentioned it last week. So apologies to anybody who was looking forward to this last week and did not find it. That said, if you want to keep up with any announcements, I'm usually posting those over on Blue Sky. You can find me there, Simodian, same username as everywhere else. Don't really post a whole much else on there right now, but that's where you can stay up to date on the latest stream announcements. Beyond that, thank you, Pizza Maid, for putting the content warning into chat. Regular reminder that Kingdom Death Monster is a very mature game, has a lot of adult imagery, as well as depictions, descriptions of violent acts, body horror, gore, that sort of thing, as well as descriptions of mental trauma. So, first and foremost, if any of that is too much for you, I completely understand. Take care of yourself first. As for what we've got going on here this week, I'm tired of fighting frogs. I probably should fight another frog, but I need a break from the frog. Uh, um, so the deal with the frog is we've got, well, in general, we're running low on people, um, but the disorders and stuff that the frog is laying us out with is somewhat debilitating at the moment. So primary goal is going to be opening up the barber surgeon. That's not, yeah. So once we open up the barber surgeon, we can work on getting rid of some of those disorders that are preventing some of our better survivors from going back out. Which means we probably want to fight the frog again because we need organs for that. And it seems like the frog is a pretty good source of organs. Unfortunately, we're not going to be doing that just now because, again, tired of fighting the frog. I'm coming to realize the frog dog, as the most recent release for the game, is probably balanced around the post Gambler's Chest version. Gambler's Chest is functionally Kingdom Death Monster 2.0. Lots of new abilities, completely new system for leveling up your survivors, and the survivors within the Gambler's Chest, the ARC survivors as they're known as, are much more powerful than the base game survivors. So that's, I think, what we're running into a bit with the frog. The fight is manageable, but a lot of the extra stuff that goes along with it is just, it's a little much right now. That said, we're going to keep moving forward with 9 whole survivors. We're not looking great, but we're going to keep pushing. But yeah, after this particular campaign attempt is done, we will likely not see the frog dog again until the Gambler's Chest is live in the simulator. So that said, we got a spooter. We are going after the Spidicules. So what's funny is when I set up the hunt phase offline, I had this thing just parked on the hunt board. I was like, well, that's going to make it hard to flip cards and stuff. So I swapped him out for one of the spiderlings. So he will be representing the Spidicules, and that's, yeah, this is not just a monster. The Spidicules has a whole brood that comes with it. So some fun, interesting things. As for who is joining us this week, we have mostly new survivors because a lot of our old survivors ain't doing that great. We have Tatiana, who will be joining us with her bone darts. We have Grigori, who is wielding our long club, a new weapon from the frog dog, something I'm interested in giving a shot to. Notably for Grigori, he has some stuff going on here. He has the Vengeance fighting art. So if people are dying, Grigori himself will get a little stronger, as well as the Aproctophilia. This is what I was talking about with the Frog Dog kind of debilitating some of our survivors, forcing us to have stinky gear in our grids if we want to use them. And the fun thing for those that missed the first time around, we have a survivor that has the Aproctophilia and also has Unfroggable, which means they can never be stinky. And if they depart with stinky gear, we end up archiving the gear. So this ability on its own is great. When combined with Aproctophilia, a bit of a problem. But moving on, we have our main tank for the evening in Maria. She's got our full rawhide set. She's got the axe. She's also got the spiked buckler, although I don't think she'll really be using that this fight. Maybe. We'll see. And then finally rounding out our only veteran survivor that is joining with Rickard. Rickard is bringing out the bone blade, just a weapon, better than nothing. Yeah, we are starved for weapons in this campaign as well as our new item, the frog doggles, which if he is insane, he's going to get to be able to look at some decks, although not currently. Oh no, he is currently insane. We are good to go. So this will be online at the start of the fight. So yeah, this is the interesting thing about swapping out monsters in the campaigns. Like the White Lion, while the fight is not the most engaging for players who have done it a few times, and the armor set is honestly terrible. The weapons you get from the White Lion are quite good. Whereas with the Frog Dog, I'm still kind of learning what the weapons are going to be like from him. There are a couple things here, like the grapple claw is pretty cool. Acid bombs are usable. We'll see. The axe is not great. The vertebrae net is not great. So we're kind of lacking in powerful weapons, which is the other reason I wanted to give the Spidicules a shot to get that crafting location open and see if we can help fill some of those gaps with our gear. So I think that's everything out of the way, and we are ready to kick off our hunt phase. Oh, also, forgot, Grigori is our survivor. Forget what the thing was called. Basically, he has to, yeah, that's what it is, the rival scar. He has to come with us when we're fighting the Spidicules. So there's some interesting stuff here. Although, as we'll find out later, when you're low on population, Spidicules becomes a problem. So that's going to be fun. But let's see who is going to be kicking off our hunt phase. We are going to be starting off with Maria. So Maria is going to step up and reveal the first Spidicules card. The way is narrow. The survivors walk between two cliffs that narrow until everyone is forced to walk single file. At some point, the survivors in front realize the last in line has disappeared. Uh-oh. Each survivor rolls 1d10. The lowest rolling survivor becomes the straggler. Remove the straggler for the rest of the hunt phase, and they gain 1 bleed. Oh, apologies, had a bit of a cough there. They gain 1 bleeding token. Oh, that's... If the survivors return to the settlement before fighting Spidicules, the straggler is dead. Otherwise, the straggler starts the showdown knocked down adjacent to the monster. We are not off to a great start, team. I have a stinking suspicion campaign 2 is going to be a short one. But let's roll. Start with Maria. Is that a 9? It looks like a 9. Rickard, also with a 9. Who is Tatiana? Also with a 9. And Grigori with a 4. Okay, Grigori is the straggler. He is out for the rest of the hunt. He's going to gain a bleeding token. And he's going to start the fight knocked down adjacent to the monster. Fun times. All right, next up is Rickard. Meat puppet. That doesn't sound pleasant. At the top of a hill, the survivors see a single tree and a stranger who gestures toward them with stiff and unnatural movements. The event revealer may investigate. If they do, roll 1d10 and add their understanding to the result. Rickard has no understanding. Otherwise, roll a random hunt event before continuing to the next hunt board space. On a 1 to 10, the event revealer comes upon a stranger and finds them to be a mummified corpse. They suffer 5 of brain event damage. Okay, so we have to roll an 11 or higher to have anything not bad happen, and that's literally impossible. So I think we're just going to roll a random hunt event. With a 73. All right, Golden Ember. The way forward is blocked by dense gold-flecked smoke. If the survivors have a final lantern, we do not, it guides them through the smoke without any trouble and this event. The survivors may push ahead and brave the smoke. If they do, each survivor gains +1 courage. That would be nice if Grigori was around. And the event revealer rolls 1d10. If they don't brave the smoke, they take the long way around, roll again on the hunt event table. So let's see, on a 1 to 5, each survivor suffers 1 event damage to the head and chest. That's suboptimal. Each survivor gains 1 random disorder. That's pretty bad. Or the survivors grasp each of their hands, form a line, traverse the smoke. They breathe through the red. Okay, so 1 courage for a 50% chance of 2 damage and a disorder. I don't think that's worth it for us right now. So we are just going to roll again. A 62. Space between the rocks. The survivors are distracted by a dark crack in the endless sea of stone faces. If any survivor has a pickaxe, nope. They strike the ground, gain 1 iron. Otherwise, each survivor rolls 1d10. The lowest scoring survivor becomes a straggler. The straggler stoops to gaze into the depths and refuses to stop staring. The other survivors drag them away. They babble incoherently. Whatever they saw changed them forever. They gain 1 random disorder. If all survivors end up as stragglers, no one ever pulls them away, and they are all lost dead. Ooh. Okay. Let's not roll 3 9s again. Rickard, we'll roll you first with an 8. Tatiana with a 1, so almost definitely her. Yeah, so it's going to be Tatiana. So Tatiana just gets 1 random disorder. All right. She gets Rageaholic. Whenever you suffer a severe injury, also suffer Frenzy. Okay, that's manageable. Okay, and for Tatiana, just got a random event with a 52. Oh no. This is what ended the last campaign. And when we talk about somewhat inexperience, what I should have done last campaign is I should have used one of my lifetime rerolls to reroll the hunt event. Never occurred to me that that was an option. It is. That said, we haven't given birth to a survivor yet. So we don't have survival of the fittest, which means we don't have rerolls. We're in trouble, team. All right. Tatiana, you revealed, so we'll start with you. With a 5, plus 1 insanity. That's fine. That's fine. I'll take it. Who's next? Next is Maria with a 4, also plus 1 insanity. And Rickard with a 3. Okay, woo, we made it. So for anybody who didn't see campaign one, on our last hunt, 3 of our 4 survivors rolled 8 plus, which means 3 of them had frenzy, which means they couldn't use survival, they couldn't use fighting arts, and it made the fight essentially impossible. All right. That's way better than it could have been. And then finally, we just start the showdown. So let's get that set up. And we got all kinds of special rules to talk about because it's the first time we've seen this. Well, it's the first time I've seen the Spidicules. I've seen it in some videos, but much like the Frog Dog, this is a model I don't own in real life. So it's my first time fighting. Well, I guess her, because we got all the babies coming out. So first time fighting her. So it's interesting. The Frog Dog is female, and Spidicules is also female. So what are we looking at here with the Spidicules? First of all, let's take a look at basic action, give us an understanding of how the monster is going to fight. Closest threat facing in range, closest survivor field of view, no target. Okay, that's normal. Speed 2, accuracy 2, 1 damage. That's pretty straightforward. So 11 movement, very fast. 8 toughness, fairly normal. 10 wounds. That's actually, I think that's a little on the low side. Instinct, place the Spidicules in the center of the board. Its body vibrates. The monster gains +2 evasion until its next turn. All survivors suffer monster level brain damage. That's way better than the Frog Dog's instinct, so that's okay. And then we also start with a bunch of other things. First of all, twitching leg pile. The monster has -1 movement for each card under the twitching leg pile until there are 8 cards and it becomes limbless. With limbless, monster movement is 3 regardless of the movement modifiers. During the aftermath, we do the Spidisiphus story event. So essentially, in the hit location deck, there are 8 cards that correspond to the legs. If you damage all 8 of the legs, you get this special thing that happens. With only 10 wounds, the odds of 8 of those being legs, pretty small. I've definitely seen some people slow play it, use like the cat's eye circlet to really fish for it. That's not how I like to play. I just kind of, I will use tools to my advantage, but I'm not going to like really kind of game the system. That's not enjoyable to me. Next up, we have spawn. So when the spawn action occurs, we place a spiderling in an unoccupied space adjacent to the spider nest. These are these little guys. Let me bring this one over before I forget about them. Spider nest, you can't quite see it because the monster's on top. We'll move her over. Spider nest is this terrain token right here. Also, it's in the book, but just talk about it. Spidicules, due to the long legs and all that, actually doesn't have collision like many other monsters do. You could even like stand on the same squares as its feet. It's a little weird. And the blind spot for the Spidicules is the 4 squares directly under it even. Next up, spiderling action. So when spiderlings spawn, this is what the spiderlings do. At the end of each monster turn, the spiderlings perform the following action, where they're just going to go attack the survivors. 1 speed, 4 accuracy, 1 damage at level 1. And then I don't know if it's... No, it doesn't call it out here. I got to double check in the rule books what their stats are. And then we have a mood, frantic spinning. When it comes into play, discard all other moods and perform basic actions. Survivors cannot spend movement as long as 1 or more spiderlings are adjacent to them. So if the spiderlings are out, we can't avoid them. We have to deal with them. As for the spiderlings themselves, is it in here? That's probably at the front of the book. Oh, we also have to read the little lore blurb. Spiderlings do have collision. They have movement of 4. Toughness equal to the monster's toughness at the start of the showdown. So if the Spidicules loses toughness, that doesn't affect the spawns. They are unique creatures. killing a spiderling. So you have to attack to hit as normal, and then attempt to wound using, again, the toughness that we just talked about. There are no hit locations, so it's just a one and done, and they only have the one hit point. Yep, normal stuff there. So yeah, let's read that little lore blurb. All good children know to hide when they hear the signs of the knocking ghost. A rapping outside your hovel, a laugh like dried leaves blowing over ground, the shadow of a familiar face disappearing around a corner. All bad children that dare go outside when it comes around will be snapped up, never to be seen again. All right. I think that's all we've got going for us. We'd have to, yeah, our starting locations. So we start all the way over there, which is a little annoying. However, Grigori starts here. I think technically he's got to go there. What terrain have we got? We got some egg sacs. We get to spend an action. When the egg sac explodes, gain 1 web silk strange resource. Replace it with a spiderling. Roll a d10, weapon and to get knocked down. Gain the priority target token. Spiderling that emerges dies. Gain +2 insanity. Okay. And then the only special terrain setup rules. So the silk nest has to be in the center. The egg sacs get set up in the green area, so we ignore like the special rules. Then 2 random terrains. Yeah. So let's just put the egg sacs. Let's just split them evenly. That's fine. We've got the silk nest, which is an obstacle. With an action, we get to place a spiderling in a free space nearest the survivor. Roll a d10. Spawn an additional spiderling. Suffer 2 brain damage. Knock down. Oh, we find a person. We can get a population. Interesting. 2%, or I'm sorry, 20% chance of gaining a population. That might be worth it. We need people badly. Maybe once we get close to the end of the fight, we might consider doing that. We got acanthus plants. These are fairly common, as we know. Where do we want to set them up? I mean, I really don't know anything about how the fight goes, so that seems fine. And then the tall grass might be pretty helpful. And the rules for that just has to be 4 spaces away from other tall grass. So let's like set one up here. And then just put them in opposite corners because I don't know what the spider's going to do. So we're just giving ourselves options. As a matter of fact, I'll put an acanthus over here. All right. And Spider gets to go first. Let's kick it off. Let's see our first. This is a very thin AI deck. Well, no, it's got the normal 9 cards. I think it's slightly lower than normal. But let's see what we got. We've got Puncture. Pick target, knocked down survivor in range. Well, we have the knockdown survivor being Grigori. Oh, goodness. Speed 2, accuracy 2, 1 damage, and then all survivors in the zone of legs. That's an interesting way to talk about it. Gain 1 bleeding token. All right, Grigori, I don't think you have much in the way of defense. As a matter of fact, you have -1 evasion. Although 1's still auto miss, so that's something. Yeah, 2 hits. So that's 2 damage, or 1 damage each to the feet and the feet. Well, that's not great. So he's going to spend a survival to dodge one of those. Actually, he's already knocked down, so I guess there's not... Do I want to go to heavy already? Let's do it. No, that's dumb. Let's spend the survival. And then he gets another bleeding token. Well, that's fun. Old man, you ain't gonna make it very long. Good news is he does get to stand up at the end of the monster's turn. And we'll probably start off with him right there, right? He could take a step back because he has the long club. It has a reach of 2. So that's probably worth doing. All right, 2 dice. He is hitting on 5s. That is 1 hit. The segmented trochanter. Okay. So this is strength of 3. Grigori has a strength of 1, so we need a 4 to wound. We do get a wound. All right, we have a wound reaction. Spidicles extends its legs, lifting its body high in the air. End all melee attacks not made with spear weapons. Well, that's fine. Perform spawn, then full move all spiderlings towards the attacker. Uh-oh. So spawn, place a spiderling in an unoccupied space adjacent to the spider nest. So we're just going to have a little guy that goes right. Uh-oh. Oh, this is a fiddly fight. Oh boy. Oh, I'm kind of glad I don't own this one in person because 1, it's gigantic. Like, it looks big here. It's even bigger in real life. And 2, it's kind of a nightmare to handle. Can anybody else actually do anything helpful? I think we're going to try to get Tatiana to Bone Dart the Spiderling. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Uh-oh. Yeah. We're going to have to do like a full tactical view on this fight. And is that within range? Or what, range 6? Range 6, yes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Just in range. Exactly how I planned it. So 1 speed, hitting on only a 7. Yeah, nothing special about Tatiana. Oh, we get a hit, though. So 3 strength. So we need a 5 to wound. We do wound. So this little guy is out of there. And everybody else, 2, 3, 4, 5. I didn't even plan where I'm starting my survivors. Let's think about this for a second. That's fine. That's probably how I would have done it. So Maria, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, because I want her to try to be our tank. And Rickard, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Just going to do his best. Although Rickard is insane, so he doesn't get to look at the top card of the AI and hit location decks. So top card of the AI deck is going to be Arachnophobia. It's going to spawn, move to the center, and then intimidate. All right. And then top of the hit location, segmented stern. Okay, so we do have super dense. That's the thing. I wasn't sure if Spidicles had super dense. That's going to be a problem for both the bone darts and the bone blade. Club is fine. And the axe. Oh, the axe is also frail. All right. Huh. Okay. Also, geez, I got stone noses that I didn't take care of here. So Rickard is also going to get another insanity. All right. So that's the end of our turn because there's nothing else we can really do. So we are going to do Arachnophobia. So perform spawn. Get another spider. We're going to put this spider close to this side. So it's in range of the melee folks over there. Full move the monitor to center of the strobe board. Already there. And all survivors suffer 1 brain damage. Increase this by 1 for each spiderling on the showdown board. And then nobody has that. So everybody takes 2 brain damage. Yikes. That's bad. Huh. All right. Nothing we can really do about that. I don't think any disorders or fighting arts come into play. Oh, this is severe injuries, right? Yeah, severe injuries. All right. It is what it is. Okay, so back to our turn. We're going to let Grigori go first because he's the only one that can safely attack super dense locations. He could just stand there and do it. Actually, to be safe, I'll kind of move him diagonally, just in case. So again, 2 speed, hitting on 5s. 1 hit, so we know what it is. All right, and then we said it is a 6 to wound for him? Yes? No, a 4 to wound. Does not wound. We get a reflex. The Spedicles plunges to the ground with surprising speed. All survivors adjacent to the monster suffer bash and knockback 5. I think that's nobody. Yeah, nobody is adjacent because Grigori is at this angle. So we got a little lucky there. Next up, let's scoot Tatiana over. Oh, God, this is a nightmare. Let's see if she can, again, get rid of this spiderling. She hits, and she needs a 5. Yeah, cool, got rid of the spiderling. Definitely don't want those guys stacking up. Let's think. Let's let Rickard go first so we can look at the cards again. I got Pulverize, closest threat facing in range. That's going to be Grigori. Can we get Maria up there? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We can get Maria up there. Okay, so that's what Maria's going to do. And then our next hit location is the trap. Well, let's not put it there. So that's not terrible. But let's see if we can hold off on that for just a bit. Let's have Rickard grab an Acanthus, because I don't think these egg sacs are really worth it. Well, again, maybe near the end, because we do get resources. But Acanthus would be real nice, since we don't have the antelope. Trying to get Acanthus when we can is probably a good idea. With an 8, we get a fresh Acanthus. Perfect. Strange resource. Whoops. Thank you. And That's it for him. So yeah, Maria is just going to make sure she's the target. 2, 3, 4, 5. Can't get her to attack. Can't get her to really do anything else. So she might as well block. She can't attack, so she'll put up a block. Cool. All right. So for the spider, we know we're going to get pulverized. Closest threat facing in range, we are going to choose Maria. Speed 2, accuracy 2, damage 2. Should be all right. So Maria is evasion. She has +2 evasion? Yeah, +2. Because I was trying to remember last time everybody, like our tanks had +3. But that's because we had survival of the fittest, which we do not. So hitting on 4s. 1 hit, which does get blocked because we did block with the shield. And then we get to roll on a 9+. This monster suffers a wound. And it does. Cool. First time we get to use it, and it works. So, after damage doesn't happen, turn to face away from the target, then full move forward, turn to face the most survivors. So we go that way, and scuttle 1, 2. It's just going to go straight to the edge of the board, and then turn back around. Nothing else to worry about there. So we might go for some resources. So I wouldn't mind if Tatiana triggers the trap. So let's start with that. That is a hit, which means she will trigger the trap. Excellent. All survivors are doomed. Perform spawn. So do I get to choose specifically? As close to the nearest survivor as possible. Got it. So then it should be there. All right. Oh, as place all spiderling. Okay. Full move the spider goes away from the attacker. 3, 4, 5. Okay, we might actually have to count this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, close enough. Place all spiderlings that are currently on the showdown board adjacent to the attacker. Got it. And then perform spiderling action. So 1 speed, hitting on a 6, I believe it is, because of the grass. Yeah, 6. Oh, it does hit, of course. So that is 1 damage to her head. I don't like that. So she's definitely going to dodge that. I highly doubt I'm ever going to buy this thing. At least as long as we're living in this apartment, because this thing is gigantic. We literally don't have anywhere to put it. All right, so as far as traps go, that one's not so bad. As for what else we're going to do, well, we can't get anywhere near the Spidicules. So let's just... so I think I'll bring Rickard up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we can get Rickard to hopefully deal with this guy. Grigori can go there. Maria can go there. That seems fair. All right, so Rickard, start of his turn. We got to deal with this first. I'm trying to remember my keybinds. Stopped playing the game for a week, and I forget how it works. So for our AI card, Furthest threat facing in range. Perform spawn, but place the spiderling on an unoccupied space. And then full move the Spidercules away from all threats. Cool. So that's actually going to work out in our favor. Because away from all threats is going to be this way, but since he's already at the board edge, he's just going to scoot back along. So he's actually going to come towards us. So that's fine. That's... I think I forgot to do this once. So I've got to remember that. Okay, so Rickard, hopefully you can get a hit here. 2 speed, hitting on 6s. Thanks, Rickard. All right, well, there goes that plan. So Maria, you're our next best chance. Also hitting on 6s. That's a hit. And then against toughness 8, we need a 5 to wound. Okay, so I guess we're not dealing with that spiderling this turn. Grigori. I think the smartest thing to do is to go for the Acanthus first. Oh, we also got to see what this is. Ooh. Okay, so this is just a lake card. Got it. That is cool artwork, though. So, yep, for our Acanthus. Yep, we just get another fresh Acanthus. Nice. Unfortunately, that's all we can do. So we're going to have some spiderling troubles to deal with. All right, so Fling. Furthest threat facing in range. Actually, nobody is facing. Furthest survivor in field of view. That's definitely going to be Grigori. Perform spawn, but place the spiderling on an unoccupied space adjacent to the target, if possible, between the target and Spidercules. Probably there. So yeah, as we mentioned, full move away from all survivors. We're going to say that's to the right. So he's actually going to slide down this way. Or do we want to go this way? I think this way is better. Yeah. So full move away is going to be upwards. So he's just going to move 11 spaces. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 9, 10, 11. And then turn to face. Oh, he is really janky up there. All right, I guess that's better. And then the spiderlings. So I think they just target the closest. Oh, right, they have special targeting rules. So, closest threat in range. Yeah, that's what I thought. So we'll have this one attack Maria, because that's smart. So they need a 6. Oh, only 1 speed. Well, both of those hit anyway, so I guess we'll keep that. So that is 1 damage for Maria to her hands. And then the other one is, of course, going to attack Grigori. Of course, with 1 damage to his waist. That's the best place that could have happened. All right, so that is the end of the monster's turn. Back around to our survivors. Definitely got to clean up these spiderlings. Let's start with Grigori. Let's move him a step closer to the main action. Just looking for 5, 1 hit, and then looking for a 4. Cool. So this guy's dealt with. Let's have. We need to start getting in. So I think the smart thing is to start with Tatiana, who misses. And I think Rickard is our next best option here. That is 1 hit. Also, what was this? I keep forgetting about this. Oh, we can't spend movement if... Okay. So technically Grigori had to stay here. And Tatiana has to stay here. That's fine. No great loss otherwise. So Rickard did get 1 hit. And then he needs a 6 to wound. Woof. He does it, though. Good job, bud. Oh, also for his turn, I probably should have done Maria first, but it is what it is. So we know next turn that's happening. Woof. Okay. Not too bad. And then Maria, start chopping, lady. Oh God. Can we do this? Maria. Okay, we made it. So Maria's hitting on 6s. That is 2 hits. So we already know this one. And, oh, wow. All right, so nothing bad happens here. So we start with that one. She needs a 5 to wound, which she does. So we add a leg to the pile. Just going to keep that there. And now this actually goes away. And then the other leg. Same thing, 5 to wound. Fail. If the attacker is within 2 spaces, sure is, suffer bash and knockback 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And she is knocked down. I think we're okay to leave her there. I think. Let's see. We don't have a ton of survival. And now we don't know what the monster's doing, but that is everybody's turn. Although, okay, so we had moved Grigori before his attack, which we had to recall. But after he successfully attacked, we can move him up. We'll just park him there. Technically a bit out of order, but we're doing our best. Forgot to mention it at the start, but one of my usual disclaimers, this is an incredibly complex game, as you can see. It is a lot of cognitive load for a single person. It's a lot for 4 people. So playing solo, there's a lot to keep track of. I apologize ahead of time if I'm forgetting things or if I kind of mistime something. I will do my best to keep things fair. If I make a mistake, I will try to correct it as best I can. But ultimately, like, that's just the nature of the game. Like, there's a lot going on. I'm not going to feel bad if I forget something every now and then. So please forgive me. That's everybody's turn. Let's go. Spider. Oh, we get another mood. Okay. When this comes into play, discard all other moods and perform the basic action. So this goes here now. And this goes here. That's cool. I like how, like, the moods cycle through. While this is in play, spiderlings gain +4 movement. Yikes. Oh, this is here now. So, basic action, closest threat facing in range. That is going to be Rickard. Rickard, I don't think he has anything going for him. Oh, he does have +1 strength. So I was forgetting some of that. I think we're okay overall. All right, so 2 speed, 2 accuracy. That is 2 hits. Legs and body, I think we're just going to tank that. All right, not so bad, not so bad. We got no spiderlings out on the board, so we can start doing stuff. End of the monster's turn, Maria will stand up. So let's think about this as best we can. Let's have Tatiana scoot back and have her throw with a miss. Nice. Grigori will step up into her spot. Swing the club with 1 hit. The forehead stalk. So Grigori needs a 4, which he gets. I get the feeling I forgot to mark a wound in the overlay, but we'll figure that out when we get there. Actually, I can track that now because I can just look at this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Nope, that's correct. Okay. Reflex, attacker gains the priority target token. Got it. All spiderlings perform spiderling action. We have no spiderlings, so we're good. We're going to let Maria go first. Two hits. Got another leg and another leg. I think these are exactly the same. Yeah. Oh, also, he's -1 movement now because we did cut off a leg. Yep. So Maria needs a 5 to wound. So the first one, that's a wound. Second one, that is also a wound. So we got 2 more legs in the pile. Finally getting that movement speed down. And then let's grab this, shuffle it, and take 2 cards into the wound pile. All right. Now we're doing all right. I think we stabilized this fight. It's a bit of a tough start. This thing is going to be like a grass assassin when you kill it, and a ton of little Lantis. Don't you put that evil on me, Ricky Bobby. Was that everybody? No, we saved Rickard for last. So at the start of Rickard's turn, we get to take a look at the top cards here. Ugh, that's bad. We don't have the insanity to tank that. So Rickard needs to deal a wound. And all right, that's not awful. That will be awful, though, if we can't wound. So, God. Is it worth spending a founding stone? No. I trust Rickard. Rickard can do this. If this card had a crit location, I would throw the founding stone, but it doesn't. So I'm going to be greedy. Rickard needs 6s. One hit. All right, we know it's this. So we just need a 3 to wound, or sorry, a 5 to wound. Chat, I screwed up. I screwed up so bad, chat. This is about to go very poorly. Oh no! All right, so we've replaced that with a spiderling. Come on, get in there. Full move Spidicules away from all threats. So he's movement 8 now. Yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Why'd you let me do that? Why did you let me take the risk? You know better. You know I can't roll dice. All right, I think that's all we could do. We've used up all of our actions. This is going to be real bad. All right, Arachnophobia, perform spawn. So we get another spiderling out. And he's going to go here. Full move the monster towards the center. Got it. That's not quite right. Is that it? That's it. And intimidate all survivors. Everybody suffers 1 brain damage plus 1 for each spiderling. So that's 3 brain damage. So that's brain trauma for Tatiana, Grigori, and Maria. Rickard had insanity, so Rickard's just down to 0. Actually, sorry, got this a little wrong. There we go. Show me brain trauma. Is it this way? No, it's this way. All right, let's start with Tatiana. Mortal terror, no ifs, ands, or buts, the survivor is dead. Okay. Grigori. Memory loss, lose 2 levels of weapon proficiency. That's fine. He doesn't have any. And Maria. Oh my god. Pizza, if you're listening, I need to try to make babies this next settlement phase. So remember your promise. Okay. Tatiana's dead. Maria's dead. Check. And check. We do get 4 endeavors. That's nice. Because we have graves at least. We've killed enough people. We better have graves. I got cocky again. Chat. Stop letting me get cocky. That I got to put in a new chat command after tonight. Oh, and we still have spiderlings that got to take their turns. So they're both going to go after Rickard. That one hits. 1 damage to his legs. He's got to dodge that. And spiderlings have +4 movement, so this one can definitely make it there. These spiderlings are devastating. They haven't missed yet. To the body. Oh, he's got to... Oh, he can't dodge that one. So that's a heavy wound. Which means he's knocked down. What are we going to do? Actually, does priority target affect the spiderlings? All right, well, it's too late to take it back now. I'm going to, for the rest of this fight, I'm going to rule that the priority target only applies to Spidicules itself. What are we going to do? We have to get rid of the spiderlings. Like, that's... We can't even try to wound. There's only 2 people left. We might be done already, guys. Okay. Okay. I could do this. I could do this. Okay. Grigori's going to spend his last survival to stand up Rickard, because we absolutely need both of them to take turns. And then Grigori's going to step over here and swing for this spiderling. 2 hits, thankfully. And one of them was a wound. Great. So we get rid of him. And then Rickard will do the same here. He needs, what is it, 6s. Gets 1 hit and needs a 5. Okay. And we don't get to reveal cards anymore because Rickard is no longer insane. Okay. So that's that. Get punctured, knocked down survivor in range. That's neither. Random threat in range. So we're going to say odds are Grigori, evens are Rickard. Of course it's Rickard. Oh no, it has to be Grigori because of the priority target. God, this thing is a mess. I don't think there's any way we can game it so that Rickard is not in the zone. That's fine. It's only a bleeding token. Rickard can take a bleeding token. Grigori, not so much. Speed 2, accuracy is going to be 4 because Grigori is in the grass. Doesn't matter. They both hit. Waist and hands. That's fine. That's fine. And then, whoops, they both get bleeding tokens. And now this is done. All right, no spiderlings out, which means we actually get to start trying to fight this thing again. I don't think we're going to go for any of this stuff now with only 2 people. All right. Grigori, you want to go first? Might as well scoot over to here for some small safety. 2 hits, 2 perfect hits. It's the trap. Neat. Perform spawn. Full move the Spidicules away from the attacker. it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. There. And perform spiderling action targeting the attacker. Nope, it's only 1 speed. It still hits. You gotta be kidding me. To the head, of course. So that knocks down Grigori. Alright, so now Rickard has to fight this dumb thing. 2 hits. Alright. Neither one's a wound. Neat. Alright. This fell apart so fast. And it's entirely my fault, too. Like, I acknowledge it. Closest threat, that's Rickard. Actually, he doesn't. Yeah, he does. Both hits. Oh, and 2 damage each. Holy crap. Thankfully, Rickard has a survival. Oh, we might start eating Acanthus pretty soon, too. Body. Yep, he's going to eat his Acanthus. Alright, so he's going to eat his Acanthus to heal his body. He's going to spend survival to dodge 1. And then the 2 damage is going to bring him back to severe injury on the body. And that knocks him down. Then we perform Spawn. Oh boy. Oh boy. This is catastrophic. He gets knocked back, but he can't be knocked back. So he's going to suffer collision, which is 1 damage to his head. And then he scuttles away again. She scuttles away again. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Oof. All right, so you guys ready for campaign 3? Let's play this out. If we survive this fight, it's going to be an absolute miracle. That was the end of Spidicules, which means both Spiderlings take their actions. They're both going to target Grigori. Or no, nobody's a threat. Closest survivor. Okay. Well, they're still both... Oh, okay. This one's going to target Grigori. This one has to target Rickard. So we'll start with Grigori. Needs a 6. Hey, 1 finally missed. And then Rickard. Of course. To his body. That is a severe injury to Rickard's body. Oh, wait. I forgot. Grigori has Vengeance. Hold on, team. Hold on, team. So he should be maxed on survival. Or, no, he should have 1 survival, because he would have been maxed, but he did have to spend 1. And he gains 2 strength tokens. I forgot. You have to do that before I remember. reminding me I forgot something after I realize I forgot something doesn't help. I don't think I have any strength tokens around, do I? No. All right, it's not hopeless. It's pretty hopeless, but it's not completely hopeless. Oh, I forgot Grigori's -1 evasion. So, I don't know. Maybe I missed something. I'm not used to having negative evasion on characters. All right. Right, so we got to do the heavy wound, or the severe injury to Rickard's body. Yeah. Oh, actually, that was Rickard who ate his acanthus, not Grigori. Lantis, I barely know the rules. It's fine if you don't know the rules. You're learning along with me. That's fine. I appreciate you. But to use the chat commands, offensive pizza. Pizza. I will remember this. Uh-huh. I don't think I've ever redeemed the pineapple. All right, what are we doing? What are we doing? Severe injury to Rickard's body. 3. Gain 2 bleeding tokens. Well, that's survivable. Okay. Rickard stays knocked down, but Grigori gets up, if I'm remembering correctly. So again, we're going to have Grigori stand up Rickard. Oh, goodness. I'm messing up. All right, we're good. So again, we just got to deal with these spiderlings. Like, we can't just hang around, leave these things hanging around. So, Grigori. 2 hits. Grigori's going to demolish this thing. Yeah, all right. So that one's gone. Rickard, I need you to do this, friend. That is 1 hit, and he needs, what did we say, a 5? You... Okay. Good turn. Good turn. Of course. Of course it's this one. I don't think Grigori's in range. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Grigori's not in range, so it has to be Rickard again. Oh boy. Okay, this isn't the 2 damage one. I thought this was the 2 damage one. Still not great. Huh. 2 hits. Head and body. Yep, that's 2 more severe injuries. Let's do the body first. With a 6. Disemboweled. Fun. Movement is reduced to 1 until the showdown ends. Super. Gain 1 bleeding token. Uh-oh. Skip the next hunt. I don't think that's going to be a concern. If you suffer disembowel during a showdown, at least one other survivor must live to the end of that showdown to carry you back. Neat. And then the head. Pizza. I'm going to do it. You can't stop me. Yep. Your head erupts in a shower of gore, killing you instantly. All other survivors are so disturbed that they lose 1 survival. Oh, we're done. We are so done. The good news is vengeance triggers on Grigori again. He goes back up to survival and gets another strength token. Anything else? Grigori's not in the zone. All right, so I think the play here... Oh, we still got to do this. We still got to do this. That's a miss. Okay. So I think the play here is just Grigori is going to swing for the fences. Swing away, Meryl. It's the only... We can't just keep swatting spiderlings at this point. We just have to go for the win. Well, 1 hit. And he's got so much damage right now. Yeah, he's wounding on a 2. That's a wound. Yeah, what was it? Full move away. That's unhelpful. Then the spiderlings come out to play. All right, it is what it is. Moving on. This is bad. 6, 7, 8. I think I did this wrong last time. I thought it was put it in the center. It is what it is. We aren't going to be fighting this guy again anytime soon. Let's just get that out of the way. So that's 3 brain damage to good old Grigori, which is another brain trauma roll. Okay, so that's a wipe. Okay. No resources. No, nothing. Let's just go through the motions. The Spidicules mounts the defeated survivor's corpse on its stalk. Do not gain the benefits of your settlement's death principle for the last survivor killed this showdown. Okay, so campaign 2 was cursed. we're gonna cut our losses. Campaign 3. Let's go. What did we learn from this? Absolutely nothing. We learned absolutely nothing. Let's be honest. So what are we gonna do? First of all, let's do a little cleanup. Send that to the shelf. Let's archive everything. So here's what we're going to do. We're not going to start campaign 3 tonight. That would be silly. But I do have something a little special we can do tonight. Let's just go ahead and archive those. That's fine. So much cleanup. Oh, I never added her to the settlement to begin with. I'm sorry, Tatiana. Let me upload you to the cloud before I kill you. Oh, I didn't do it to Maria either. So that actually is a nice feature for the simulator. If we come in here and check, we can actually see like previous campaigns. You can even access these on the website. So if you start a game in the simulator, you can even print out the sheets and carry it over to your real life game. So that's a cool feature. Really appreciate that. What else we got here? All right, Spedicules, you're banned. You're going back to the shelf. All of you guys, go back to the shelf. All right, there's a bunch of other cleanup to do, but I think we'll take care of that offline. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to... yeah, take notes. Please take notes. Please be my guest. I'm going to take... well, I got a little more cleaning up to do. Let's be smart here. All right, so I'm going to take a short break, and when I come back, I do have something special we can do for the rest of the night here. This will be fun. So stick around, and I will be back shortly.